You know that feeling, right? You're staring at a plant, it's looking, well, kind of pathetic, and you just can't figure out why. You're giving it water, you're giving it sun, but nothing seems to work. It's probably the most common frustration in all of gardening. But don't worry, today we're gonna crack the code on watering.
So let's just get right into it. This is the big one. This is the question that messes with everybody, from total beginners to seasoned pros. The signs for too much water and too little water can look almost identical. So you're left standing there thinking, am I helping this thing or am I actually hurting it?
And this comment from a gardener on Reddit just nails that feeling of confusion, doesn't it? You've got mushrooms popping up, which screams too much water. But then your plants are wilting, which looks like they're begging for a drink. It feels like this impossible riddle you're supposed to magically solve.
And this, right here, this is the reason why it's so confusing. Just look at this. Yellow leaves. Could be overwatering, could be underwatering. Wilting? Same deal. Stunted growth? Yep, you guessed it. It's on both lists. The only real difference is way down in the soil. And by the time you're digging around to check for root rot, it's often too late. This is what we're calling the watering paradox.
So let's talk about why this paradox even exists. Because it turns out that our best intentions, and honestly, some of the most common gardening advice we've all probably followed, are actually the very thing causing the problem.
And there it is, the #1 mistake. That quick, daily sprinkle with the hose. It feels like you're being a really good, attentive plant parent, right? But what you're actually doing is setting your plants up for total failure. Let's break down exactly why.
See, that little daily splash of water isn't just a waste. It's worse than that. You're basically training your plants to be weak. You're creating this fragile system that's completely dependent on you, and it just can't handle any kind of real-world stress.
So here's the deal. When you only water that top inch or two of soil, most of that water just evaporates right back into the air. It never gets down deep. So the roots learn, hey, the only water I'm gonna get is right here near the surface. And that's where they stay. But those shallow roots are incredibly vulnerable. One hot day, one miswatering, and the whole system collapses. This is literally how we train our plants to be weak.
All right, so how do we fix it? The secret is to stop thinking like a human with the hose and to start thinking like a plant. We've got to go underground and really understand the science of what a plant is trying to do down there. And it all comes down to this really cool concept called root system architecture. This isn't just about roots growing down. It's a whole complex 3D network that the plant is building to search for water and food. The shape of this network, its architecture, that's what determines how healthy and strong that plant can be.
And this quote kind of sums up the why perfectly. Basically, plants are survivors. They are hardwired by evolution to be smart. They don't just grow roots randomly. They send them out on a mission to find resources. They're strategic. They go where the water is.
And boom, here's how we connect that science back to our own gardens. If we put the water down deep in the soil, we're basically creating a target. We're giving the roots a reason to dig down deep to find it. We're using the plant's natural survival instincts to build a bigger, stronger, more drought-resistant foundation for us.
Okay, so now we get it. We know the what and the why. So let's get to the good part, the practical how-to. This is the stuff that will actually change the game in your garden.
First, let's be clear on what we mean by deep watering. It's not really about how much water you use, it's about the method. The goal is to deliver water slowly, so slowly that it has time to sink past that top layer and really saturate the soil way down deep.
And here are the 4 rules to live by. It's super simple. Number 1, go slow. A soaker hose or a drip system is your best friend. Number 2, water way less often. We're talking maybe once, twice a week tops, not every day. 3, check first. Stick your finger a few inches into the soil. If it feels damp, just wait. And number 4, mulch, mulch, mulch. A good 2 or 3 inch layer is like putting a lid on the soil, holding all that moisture.
So, how deep is deep? This is your magic number. For most garden plants, you want that water to soak down at least 6 to 12 inches. That's probably way deeper than you realize. But that's what it takes to build that deep water reservoir that encourages strong roots.
And here's a little pro tip for you, especially if you have heavy clay soil or your garden is on a slope where water just runs off. It's called the cycle soak. It's easy. You just water until you start to see it puddle up, then stop. Walk away, get a drink, wait about 20 or 30 minutes. Then come back and water again. That little pause gives the water time to soak in instead of just washing away.
Now, the really amazing part is that when you make this one little change in how you water, the benefits just ripple out. It's not just about having one happy plant, you're creating a smarter garden and honestly, a smarter relationship with the planet.
I mean, the payoff here is huge. You get plants with deep, strong roots that can handle a heat wave, no problem. You end up saving a ton of water because it's not just evaporating. Save your own time because you're not out there with a hose every single day. And your plants are just healthier because their deep roots can access more nutrients. It is a win-win-win.
And really, this whole technique is just one piece of a bigger idea, creating a water-smart landscape. It's about building an entire little ecosystem in your yard that's designed to be beautiful and productive while being incredibly efficient with water.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Every single time you water, you're making a choice. You're training your plants. So the real question isn't just how much water, but what are you training your plants to do? Are you training them for weakness or are you training them for strength?